Hey friends, it's Maggie again from the Nurse in the Kitchen. Except that this video is going to go on the channel that I have christened The Older Nurse. Because I think as aging nurses, we face some unique challenges. And, you know, we can talk a lot about all the different aspect of nursing and all the trials and tribulations. There is so much that has been written about those topics, nurses eating their young, and all the stress that is associated with the profession. But I think as you enter your 50s and 60s, you are going to encounter some different challenges. You know, I've told you guys before, I'm in my early 60s, nothing to be ashamed about, of. I feel like I've aged well, thank God, because, you know, with medicine and knowledge and information out there, we're able to care for ourselves a little bit better, and a little bit of genetics never hurts. So why am I talking about that? I promised you guys, my friends, that I will tell you what I've been doing in the last couple of years. I haven't been cooking on my other channel so much. I'm gonna start again, but I was busy. I worked weekends, 2 16-hour shifts, Saturday and Sundays. And those are tough, and people usually like, oh my God, how you do that? But you know, it's only 2 days, so it's really not bad. And as a supervisor of a facility, I enjoy my job. I got along with my peers. You know, you always have some stragglers that are trying to cause trouble, but you know, overall, everybody was pretty receptive, and I'm able to work with people across the aisle. So that wasn't the issue. But talking about ageism and aging in nursing, you know, when I went into nursing, I was like in my early 20s. You know, today, the average age of the person entering a nursing program is 30. So we're starting out older. So in the average age of a registered nurse at the end of 2019 was 50 years old, 50. My gosh, it used to be in the 40s. We've just all slowly getting older. So I'm in great company, right? Out of the 3.8 million, some statistics say 4 million, but that's a lot of people. But then we have a lot of patients. And then you have baby boomers who are aging. So I think one of the reasons a lot of people are entering nursing as a second career is because of the opportunities. You know, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a job if you're not too picky as a nurse. I don't have time to go into it, but you guys know, nursing is like a stepping stone to a lot of other careers. So it is a great career to get into. So some people, for whatever reason, recession, and then they feel like if they're a nurse, there is more security of the job, and all of that is true. But people need to understand what they're getting into. And I had another video about, if you want to be a nurse, you need to have those traits to make sure you can sustain, because it's physically demanding, it's emotionally demanding, there's a lot of stress, and in addition, you have to love people. So if you don't love people, you don't care for people, being a nurse is going to be really hard for you. I was talking to a young nurse not too long ago, and I was telling her, you're not really touchy-feely, but if you touchy-feely, it makes the job easier. But if you just like I don't want to say left brain, but just kind of cut and dry, it makes it difficult. Because that human connection is very important. Why am I saying all this? I started my career early 20s. I've done a lot of different things. I've done supervision, administration, critical care, home care. I've owned a home care company. So, and then I became a chef. I went to culinary school, did a cafe for a couple of years. That didn't pan out, went back to nursing. So it's like looking down, you know, to the future. And it's like, okay, what am I gonna do now? I had been out of acute care for a while, so it was difficult to get back in. And that's where the ageism comes in. They look at you like, oh, you're in your 50s. you haven't been inside the hospital for the last so many years, we don't think you can make it. And I've encountered that personally. So looking down and saying, okay, I didn't want to go back into home care really at that time. I don't want to go into acute care, or can't go into acute care. What am I going to do? So when I closed the cafe, which I know I talked about that before, was really my very first failure in business. So that, I mean, and then my daughter is like, well, it's not a failure, but to me it is, because I had plans I had a business model for my cafe that was going to be my retirement, and that didn't pan out, okay? Sometimes the best laid plans don't work out the way you want them to work. So that's what happened, and that hit me really hard. I was telling somebody, I sat for like 2 months. I was almost like paralyzed with grief at the fact that my cafe didn't work out. I had to close it. I lost the lease, and then where I went after that just didn't work out. So I went back to nursing, which is what I know, and then I ended up in long-term care. But as much as I am a gerontologist, which means an aging specialist, that wasn't really the environment that I could see myself ending my career in, okay? We all know what our nursing homes look like. They're not the really picture perfect of what aging should be. And I know they try, the administration, but the funding sources and the mix of the patient, the demand of the public, the expectations that do not match your compensation all makes for a perfect storm. So I decided, you know what? And I'm always doing something. I always want to do something different, something new. So this hair is just a mess. So I said, okay, what am I gonna do? I said, okay, if I have 10 more years of active work, what do I want to do? What do I want to be? And then all of a sudden, I decided I wanted to be a nurse practitioner. Now, listen, when I was in nursing with my friends, like maybe 20 years ago, I could have become a nurse practitioner then. In fact, the friends that I know that I've encouraged to go into it have been in it forever and are seasoned. And now, I'm old. Now you want to go back to school. Oh my goodness. I had gone back to school anyway in the early 2000s and got a master's degree in health administration because that was going to be my thing. I wanted to be a manager, a boss, an entrepreneur. I just didn't see myself in a clinical setting, right? So I'm telling you, in the last 5 years, my thought process, a lot of things have changed for me. So I decided to go back to school. Okay, now, thank God I had the means to pay for it. I didn't have to take more loans, like our millennials, the younger kids. But wow, that was an eye-opener. I remember maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I had decided to try to go back to school, and I went and took a chemistry class and I took a algebra class. No, I didn't do well at all. But this one, I was like, it's nursing. I know nursing. I'm a pretty darn good nurse. And I said, I can do this. I got this. But you know what? What you know professionally, what you do with your patient, yeah, I keep up with the latest whatever. I can run a code and stuff like that. But going back to studying the theories of nursing and all these, nursing is a science and an art and all that good stuff, and having to write papers again. Whoa, that was a challenge. I did not want to go on a campus, and I wanted to do it online. So I did go to an online program. I'm pretty disciplined in terms of getting my work done. But let me tell you, it was a challenge to go back to a place where people are telling you what to do, you have deadline, and then you have to collaborate and work with people on project. And of course, out of my class, I was the oldest. The other kids, some had graduated a year ago, 2 years ago. So I'm talking about what, 24, 26. I don't think one of them was 30. There was one guy, he was over 30. But it was interesting. So the first semester was a little bit of a challenge because the faculty was a little bit shaky, especially in how they dealt with the adult learner, because we're no freshmen, 19, wet behind the ear kind of students. We've a lot of us have had careers and stuff, so we don't appreciate being talked to a certain way. You can tell us what to do, we get the work done, and then you always get into the idea of certain professors who just kind of appear like they out to get you or to flunk you or whatever, and you're like, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna get my work done. I guess one of the biggest challenge for me when I got started, it was like my brain was sleepy, and to wake up my brain I used to be able to come up with a 9-page paper in 4 hours. A 9-page paper in 4 hours. My God, it took me days. You hear me? Days to come up with a paper. And then when it came time for the exams, oh my God, computer time exam. I remember the first exam, I was like, a lot of the questions, I was like, I have no clue what they're talking about. so some of the exams I didn't do so well on in the beginning, because they're not asking you ABC with one answer. It was like convoluted and so, oh my gosh. But I had it in my mind, it's like, you know what? This is not gonna break me. And that's the attitude that I have about life in general. It's like, okay, bring it on. This is a challenge. I never not finish what I've started. I am going to graduate. By golly, I'm gonna do it. So that was my mindset, and I got into it. I did the reading. So that was one of the reasons I went to work on the weekend, because during the week, Mondays, I was like dead, after the 32 hours. But then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it was like hitting the books. Let me tell you, I would sometimes spend almost sleepless night so I can get it done. But you know what? One semester after another, I finished. And I think I finished pretty strong. So I thank God. What I want to tell you though, especially we talk about older nurse, you are never too old to learn, okay? If you have a passion for something, if you want to challenge yourself with something, go for it. Go for it. I'm one of those, I always welcome a challenge. I never want to sit still. I'm always on a quest to learn. So yeah, I finished the program. I did the adult geriatric nurse practitioner. But in hindsight, now I wish I had done the family nurse practitioner. So right now, I am in the process of trying to secure a job. And most people had warned me that first NP job could take a year for you to get it. So that's where I'm at, okay? So I am looking to make a living somehow. Again, I am post-COVID, so I don't want to expose myself any more than I need to, because I don't know whether I can be reinfected or not. So guys, the cat is out of the bag. That's what I have been doing. That's why it's been difficult for me. I could not go and cook anything. I could barely eat anything myself. So you're looking at the new NP. And I thank God that I was able to do this. I might do a certificate of something, but right now, this is where I'm at, okay? I enjoy talking to you, giving you this update. I don't want this video to be more than 15 minutes because otherwise I can't post it. Bye, au revoir, à la prochaine.